How's it going? This is my experience of Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios Hollywood. First time here. This is filmed June 2024. It's been open about a year and a half. Opened soft opening January of 2023. So this is a year and a half now. It's been open at Universal Hollywood. And this was a really cool experience. When you walk into the tunnel front, you get into Princess Peach's castle. Look here to the right real quick. You'll see a portrait there straight up from Mario 64. Super Mario 64 for the N64. My family and I paid $30 each extra to get an hour early to the park, specifically to get into this part of the land here. And the main reason we wanted to get in early was obviously check it out early, super packed still. But we also wanted to reserve our reservation for Stool Cafe because that's a restaurant there, fills up super quick. One thing I was really impressed with was the immersive experience. You, of course, in the background, you have Mario music playing, the animatronics to the piranha plant, to the Goombas, to everything, the turtle shells. Everything was super cool. There's also a Super Nintendo World in Japan, has an additional ride, a Yoshi ride, which this does not have. They're opening one in Orlando, of course, it'll be a lot bigger, including a Donkey Kong Country portion of it, and that's in their new park called Universal Epic Universal, which is a weird name for a park, but that's opening up. And check this out, Mario, of course, makes an entry. I did see they had Princess Peach taking pictures, so they have all the characters, and the first thing I saw when I saw Mario walking around taking pictures was, that's A, a really cool costume, and B, if I had that, how much would it be worth 10, 20 years from now? All those Nintendo collectors would go crazy for this thing, because the eyes actually blink, and he does talk with Mario's voice, Charles Martinet's voice, which is awesome, and when he's meeting people, so very cool immersive experience. Absolutely. Speaking of immersive experience, one thing I really enjoyed were these wristbands you can purchase. They're $40 each. I got the gold one, which is limited edition there, the Mario Gold one. That was $45. And what you do is you wear them, and you can hit coin blocks. It syncs up to your Universal Studios app, and it keeps track of your points and your score. There's like 4 or 5 mini games here. Here's one mini game where the piranha plant, where you're supposed to pound these things. Here's my family doing it real quick, and it was really immersive. Now, this was filmed in June. It was kind of hot in the 80s, I'd say mid 80s, but with humidity, it felt a lot hotter than mid 80s. I'm from Arizona, so I'm used to dry heat. But my kids really enjoyed this. We each got a wristband. It does add up when you're paying $40 a pop for this, but it reminded me of like what they did with Hogwarts, right? That part of the park where they had the wands, and you use the wands, and you can use certain parts of Hogwarts, and you can use the wands. It's very similar to here. I love that Universal Studios does that. Again, very immersive. They defeated it, the piranha plant, and then once you defeat, I believe, 3 of these goals, you go on to play Bowser Jr., which I'll show you here in a second. Here's another mini game. My son's pounding the power block. And you're supposed to time it where the shell goes up the pipe, hits a power button, defeats the Koopa Troopa there, and he did it. So that was really cool. And those lines were, I'd say, about 10 to 15 minutes each to do one of those. It depends on how long you wanted it. So if you didn't have the wristband, you couldn't do it, unfortunately. And the wristband is also used for the ride as well. Here's a third game they play. There's a Goomba, and you're supposed to hit it and make like kind of spin this wheel, and really cool. You can see there's quite a few people playing it. Now, once they defeated that, this is Bowser Jr.'s mini castle, and there you can see them hitting the block. And there's another here. Here's another thing. We can take your wristband and get additional points for that. But I didn't have a wristband. I had it, but I didn't open it. I decided not to open mine, but I was still able to play them no matter what. And this is kind of the mini game at the end. You use your shadow, and you can kind of jump up and hit power blocks, and you hit these like bombs and kind of defeat Bowser Jr. I thought it was really fun. It probably took about 2 to 3 minutes overall, fairly quick, but super cool experience. This is Stool Cafe. This was the longest wait of the whole park. We were there all day. From beginning to end, it took us about 2 hours to go through it. It took us about an hour wait. We had a 2:15 reservation. I got it super early. Got there, of course, on time. We waited an hour to sit down. These are kind of examples of what they had for food. Everything's themed to Mario, which is really cool. So they had like spaghetti, they had a Bowser meatball that was spicy. I'm not a huge fan of spicy food. It makes sense it's spicy though with Bowser. And once you get into the middle of it, this is, of course, Toad talking. This is the queue line. And this is the order line, right? I've got a really cool coin block drink, which is neat. And it was really lengthy. This is the food we got. We got burgers. This is a mustache that were burned on there with a Mario cap. We got some really cool desserts. Princess Peach cupcake. You can see the coin block, which is tiramisu. My son got that Wasn't a huge fan of that because it tastes like coffee in his book. All said and done, it cost us about $175 for 5 of us to eat, so it's not cheap. Would I do it again? I'll be honest, probably not. Food wasn't great. It was a cool experience that I did it to do it. Here's our ride, Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge. Really cool experience. Pro tip, by the way, definitely do a single rider. It took us no less than 10 minutes for each time. We went on 3 times. Every time took less than 10 minutes to go on single rider. Normally it would take over a 60-minute wait or more. Even with the express pass, that would take about 30 minutes or so. But with a single rider, much faster. The other visors, augmented reality. I honestly prefer real life Mario Kart. That's not this, but as augmented reality is definitely unique and very cool to experience. They also have a power-up cafe in the very beginning of the park, Universal Studios. They have Sprite. You add these sugar cubes here, favorite cubes like a mushroom and star, and change the flavor. Very fun experience. Overall, I had a great time. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you soon. Take care. Thanks for subscribing, and of course, game on.